Hey yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we got the tier list up here again. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, as well as comment your favorite small forward used in the entire game right now. If I'm being honest, mine's probably still the Pink Diamond Cam Reddish that we have in the game. He's just too smooth, too clean. Absolutely love the card. He's just great overall. But let me know what your favorite one is in the game. You know, maybe a Terry if you got lucky for him, Jack Marin, both really good cards. And also subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers, slowly moving our way up. Thank you guys again so much for 8K. Slowly moving up the ranks there. Really is awesome. So starting off all the tier lists like we always do, I'll just show you guys everybody down in the D tier because we don't really need to talk about them too much. I mean, it's the D tier. We have Diamond Cedric Ceballos, Ruby Malt Williams, Amethyst, Tobias Harris, Pink Diamond Peja Stojakovic, still the worst Pink Diamond in the entire game, and I think he's going to hold that title for the rest of the year. So go Peja. You always have a world record here. Pink Diamond Michael Finley, I think, is down there as well as being one of the worst Pink Diamonds in the entire game. Absolutely hate him. And Amethyst, Jimmy Butler from the current 21 set. I mean, Cedric is kind of just a slasher that I don't feel like slashes very well. Walt Williams has the same jump shot as Peja, and it's terrible. I don't like it. Tobias Harris, no real defense, doesn't feel quick, kind of just a shooter, which he's good at that, but I kind of want a little bit more of my small forward position. Peja is just terrible. He's a shooter that doesn't even shoot very well. Michael Finley just feels clunky, and Jimmy Buckets just doesn't have the badges to back it up. But I do love Jimmy Buckets in general. Normally his cards are great. It's just this one, only a few silver badges and a lot of bronze. Not my thing. Starting off the C tier, we do have Diamond Paul Pierce, who I think is just a pretty good card. Paul Pierce is always just a pretty good shooter, and they did buff his release this year, so I think it feels nice. Can still play some pretty decent defense, but the reason that Paul Pierce is not as good as he should be, or not as good as you would hope he would be, is just because they don't really give him a quick first step. But he's still a great shooter. Honestly, I think this diamond is just as good as the Pink Diamond. Maybe a little bit higher, but neither of the cards I really feel like are that amazing to really use too much. They're okay. They're okay. Paul Pierce, he's okay. Next up is Ruby Mike Miller, a guy that came out very recently. And Mike Miller's big thing is the fact that he's just a knockdown shooter. Like, knockdown shooter, which you gotta love. Cards that just kind of come out there, shoot the hell out 3-ball. And that's really about it. Also can play some good defense. Comes with bronze clamps. You can upgrade it if you want. Quite a good slasher. I think for a Ruby card, and as far as those standards go, coming in with the gold catch and shoot sniper, silver deep threes, and bronze clamps with the potential to upgrade really whatever you want other than like blinders, I think it's a big W for a Ruby card. Mike Miller's he's a beast. Next up is Sapphire Matt Barnes, one of the few Sapphire cards that I still honestly feel like can really kind of compete. Not at like a high tier level, but with the best of the best. Like he's a really solid Sapphire card. I think most people kind of understand that as well, because I actually see quite a few people still using this Matt Barnes card, which is awesome because he's a pretty solid shooter and a great defender, and for limited reasons, I think he's just one of those guys that I feel like you should just have in your lineup. He's super cheap, and he basically runs limited when he's in there, so pick him up, try him out. He's kind of a demon. Next up, we do have the Diamond LeBron James, Diamond Kevin Durant, and Diamond Kawhi Leonard from the normal 2021 set. All of these cards suffer from the same problem. They have great animations, they have pretty good stats, but their badges are just absolutely terrible. And in the case of like LeBron, he has some pretty good defensive stats, some okay badges, although they are all silver, but then has like a 70 midi and a 73. It's just not worth it. And I think this KD doesn't really have defense. So like offensively, he's okay, not really defense. And then with Kawhi, a lot of defense, not the most offense. So just, you know, they're good, but they're just, again, why would you use these? I just don't see a reason. And last but not least, into the C tier, we do have Amethyst Julius Erving, who is a great card, if I'm being honest. Just a lot of things well, can really kind of just slash to the basket, pretty nice. And is a capable defender if you do badge him up, but I just don't see too much worth in it. And even though he doesn't have a lot of shooting badges, I've still been able to shoot pretty consistently with this Dr. J. I think it's not a great card, but I've been able to use him pretty well, so I threw him into the C tier. Because he's good, but he's just, you know, he's not amazing. Starting off the B tier is one of my favorite cards to run right now, and that is this Ruby or Amethyst Byron Russell. I don't really think the Evo changes his rank too much, at least for me personally. If you think, you know, going from gold catch and shoot to Hall of Fame and from gold clamps to Hall of Fame is like a massive deal, +5 in your driving layup, then you know what? You could throw him higher and say that Evo is just like a huge difference. But honestly, I feel like even at Ruby, he does everything that I'd want. The clamps with Intimidator and all the other stuff in the gold is amazing for his defense. He has quick for 7 downhill. He comes with deep threes. Like, he has everything I already want. So I don't think the Evo boosts it up too much, but it just makes him a little bit better. A little bit more fun to use. And I think the big upgrade is plus 17 in his draw foul on the Evo. It's pretty great. The one thing that does suck, though, is he does have jump shot 30 or the Scottie Pippen jump shot. It's pretty slow. It's not the most amazing, but I still think it's pretty capable, and you can get used to it if you want because it is on the quick release timing. And all Pro 1 for his dribbling moves, which is basically like Kyrie Irving. Some nice dunking packages and the long athlete layup package as well, which is cool. Brian Russell, great card. Try him out. He's just amazing, and it's a pretty cheap Evo to do. So you can get him from Ruby, get the 25 steals, and throw him up on the auction house. It makes some nice profit as well, which I always love doing. Next up is Pink Diamond Andre Iguodala, a card that I've got slandered on for my opinion on him for a long time, but it's not changing. Andre Iguodala is a great defender, like a great defender and a great slasher. I just hate his jump shot, and I really haven't felt like he's played very consistently for me or pretty great for me when I've used him. He's a good card, but again, I don't find him amazing, which is why he's thrown into the B tier. Next up is TJ Warren, another card that I feel like is very, very mid-tier. He doesn't jump out as being like that next level card that's like so good. I gotta use him, but he is quality. You know, he does a lot of things pretty well. Like, he can shoot real nice. He doesn't really feel that slow or clunky because he has quick first step and a great speed stat. He has really solid defense, even in the interior, which is awesome. He has some pretty good shooting badges and some great finishing badges. Really nice inside. But again, I don't really love the jump shot. In jump shot 63, like, it's good, but I don't know. It's just one of those ones that I'm not excited about, but I'm not mad about. The dribbling's not great, so yeah, it is what it is. I think TJ Warren's a good card, but not an amazing card. And at the current point in time, or at least last time I checked, he wasn't really worth his price either. He was going for like 40, 50K, which he's just not worth that. Next up is Diamond Scottie Pippen, a card that I absolutely love. Like, absolutely love this Diamond Scottie, but it doesn't change the fact that he definitely has some pretty obvious flaws that you got to get around. Like, Scottie Pippen is beautiful. Like, he is one of the best slashers in the game, and he plays lockdown defense on the perimeter and in the interior. And even though he doesn't have the most amazing jump shot, and it is on the normal release speed timing, like I said, I love it. Like, I've still been able to green pretty consistently, and I've said it time and time again, people actually leave you quite open with Scottie Pippen because they don't understand that if you get the jumper down, you can kill it, because it does get into a 93-point rating if you have a coast boost or even a shoe, which basically makes him knock down. And then on top of that, he's stupid quick, can get to the paint like crazy, and is one of the best fast break finishers I've ever used. I love this Scottie, but it doesn't change the fact that he's definitely only B tier because he's a good shooter, but you have to actually know the release and really be good at timing it or aiming it to get the most out of it. So it's a little bit of a tit for tat. Next up is Pink Diamond Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson, great card, hindered by one thing, and that is his slow as hell jump shot. And that's literally it. Like, if this Richard Jefferson had just a slightly better jump shot, I think I could really warrant using it, because I love, you know, having catch and shoot and Hudson Hunter on Hall of Fame. He's got really good defense. He's pretty quick, and he's an amazing slasher, even as an 80 interior. And that 95 driving dunk is like crazy. But I don't like the jumper, and that really kills it for me, and it knocks any momentum because it's just so easy to bait and to contest. I'm just not a fan. Next up is Ruby Jonathan Isaac, a card that I kind of wanted to put a tier higher into A, but when I was actually looking at it, I know this Jonathan Isaac plays amazing and really plays above his tier. But if we're being honest, once you see all the guys in A tier, you'll understand that, you know, Jonathan Isaac isn't as great. He's one of the best defenders, if not the best all-around defender in the game. He just does everything so amazing. And jump shot 70 is a beautiful, wonderful, spicy jump shot that you can just knock down all the time. Same one as Tobias Harris, but I just like it better on Jonathan Isaac. He's still a good slasher. He's still great at everything, but he is a Ruby, and he does have, you know, some flaws, like not having amazing badges and finishing. Next up is Diamond Jeremy Grant, one of the best free diamond cards that we've got. Him and I think Domantas Sabonis, I would call like two of the best like free diamonds that we have in the game, because they're beautiful, man. They're beautiful. If you haven't, it might be too late to put in a locker code, but if you did, you know. I love the jump shot 62 on Jeremy Grant. It's just wonderful. It is money, and he's a great shooter with that. The finishing is amazing. He dunks everybody. He can get to the paint beautifully with that quick first step and downhill, and the defense all around is amazing. Amazing. That long athlete layup package really helps him out, and the only thing he really can't do is like rebound with the best of them and play in the post. He can rebound okay, but it's just like not amazing. Overall, I love this Jeremy Grant, and I think a lot of people definitely should at least try him out because, again, he's a free card. Next up is Amethyst Hito Turkoglu, a card that, if badged up, can get up to this pretty high rank. Amazing offensive player, pretty nice jump shot, a little bit slow, but still is really, really solid. And overall, I think it's just a great card to have in general. So I like him. And he's a 6'10" small forward, power forward. So, I mean, what's not to love there? He just does everything pretty well. And because he's so tall, he actually plays some pretty solid defense, despite the badges not really being there for him. Next up, maybe a controversial one, is Pink Diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Flash set. And don't get me wrong, I love Giannis. I think he is a great card. I think he's just a great guy to have on any lineup, no matter who you really are. But, I mean, this guy just can't shoot. He is a slasher through and through, and that's really about it. And it kind of just, it kills him. Like, it kills him. I love Giannis cards. I think he's one of the best defenders, again, in the game. He can slash amazing. If you do like the sidestep layup cheese, there's nobody stopping this Giannis in the paint. And he's just amazing. But it doesn't negate the fact that you really have to be on your game to have Giannis be your just like make or break card, because you can just drop down on him, and for the most part, you're not going to green very consistently with him. And last but not least is Diamond Nicholas Batum. This Nicholas Batum surprised me when I got him just to do the XP challenges for, because I wasn't really expecting a lot of him, being honest. Out of the Nicholas Batum card, traditionally he's been pretty good, but I just wasn't expecting him to be as good as he is. The Hall of Fame catch and shoot and needle threader are great, but he just plays great defense inside and out because 80 interior, 88 perimeter, has clamps and intimidator. He has quick first step and downhill. He has jump shot 40, which is a money jumper. He has some pretty nice finishing badges and some great dunking stats with an 80 driving dunk. He can speed boost, and he's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, which is just beautiful. Like, beautiful. And overall, I just feel like this Nicholas Batum plays so great. I personally run him as a power forward just because of that great all-around ability, but even as a small forward, I think he's really, really solid. Starting off the A tier, we do have Pink Diamond George Gervin, who kind of is just like Nicholas Batum, a little bit shorter, can play the 2 as well, and just a little bit better. He comes with like range extender and a bunch of other things like Hall of Fame quick first step, I'm pretty sure. Just a great card. Gervin's amazing. I'm not the biggest fan of him because, again, I like jump shot 40, but only as like a catch and shoot jumper, not really as an off dribble. So if you want to use him as off dribble, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's still pretty solid. Next up is Cameron Reddish, one of my favorite cards, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, to use because he's got that Paul George jump shot base, which is just so easy to time. I mean, it's one of the smoothest jumpers in the game that you could use, so what's not to love about it? And on top of that, he has amazing defense with clamps, and Intimidator has Hall of Fame pick dodger and pogo stick, which is great. He has Hall of Fame catch and shoot and silver deep threes, which how could you not love? Also Hall of Fame posterizer. He's just a great defender. He can slash to the basket with the best of them. He can shoot the 3 like crazy. He has some solid tendencies, and the animations are just perfect for really whatever you want. Cameron Reddish, still a top tier card in my opinion. Next up is Galaxy Opal Rick Barry. Rick Barry is just one of those guys who every year I think is pretty underrated just because it's Rick Barry. I mean, nobody really gets excited at the name, but I mean, you give a guy Hall of Fame, catch and shoot, deep threes, difficult shots, and sniper, and you got me on board. I mean, that's just music to my ears. And then he has clamps and pick dodger too. Pro touch and steady finisher, 2 of the best badges as well. But the thing about Rick Barry is he has no playmaking badges, so you gotta add, quick first step, maybe a little bit of a downhill, things like that, and then a posterizer as well. And then once you do that, I think you have a really solid Rick Barry card because great shooting. He has jump shot 3, the same Jack jumper, and great dunking as well. 85 standing and driving. Solid all-around defense, although not amazing. The stats are only like around 80, and good speed as well. So you gotta love him. Rick Barry is just a really, really solid card, along with that long athlete layup package. I think he's great. Out of the Galaxy Opal token market cards, I think I probably would snag Bill Russell and Peyton over Barry, but Barry's still a great card. Next up is Amethyst Michael Porter Jr. This card plays out of his mind. One of the cards I was not expecting to play this good, but when you actually pick him up and try him out, it's money. He has the same jumper as Jeremy Grant, so if you use both the cards, you know what this jumper is going to be looking like. Has the normal leaner, which is the one that everybody basically uses to cheese up the normal 3 behind the back, which is a pretty cheesy behind the back, for being honest. Slept on one, really. And has some pretty nice defensive badges. You just have to add clamps, and then once you do, my guy's looking good. He has amazing playmaking, only missing Dimer, Floor General, and Special Delivery. Not really that big of badges. Has Hall of Fame Hot Swing Hunter, Sniper, Catch and Shoot, and Corner Specialist. Has Gold Deep 3, Circus 3s, and Difficult Shots. Has amazing finishing, and he's 6'10", with a 7-foot wingspan, and almost 90s in his speed. This Michael Porter Jr. is insane, and he's like 2K MT. If you pick him up and try him out, I promise you won't disappoint, because he's honestly great at the 3 and at the 4. He's just a great forward in general. Next up is Pink Diamond LeBron James, who's basically the Opal LeBron James, just slightly worse. And, I mean, LeBron James has amazing animations despite his layup package. His jumper, money, massive green window, always falls down. He has a great player build. He has amazing everything. I just hate that layup package, and I think this Pink Diamond is definitely a big step down from the Opal, which is why I put him down into A. Obviously, the Opal won't be on this list because he's a primary power forward, but still, I think LeBron is solid. He's really good. Great finisher, solid shooter, solid playmaker, great defender. I don't know. I'm not feeling him compared to some other cards. Just me personally. If you want to put him at that's cool. Next up is Pink Diamond Kevin Durant. Don't really need to explain it. Just an offensive demon that can still hold his own on defense. I mean, the KD jumper is great. He's shifty as hell, and he just does anything that he wants. This KD is still an all-around amazing card. Next up, because of how great he is on current gen, I threw Glenn Robinson up into A. I think when it comes to next gen, Glenn Robinson is probably like a B tier card. He's a good defender, a pretty good shooter, and an okay slasher. But on current gen, with Jump Shot 29 and how great it is, I understand that this Glenn Robinson is probably like near S tier card just because of how consistent the release is. So I decided to meet in the middle and go like A tier. Hopefully you guys don't mind that too much, but I thought it was a fair way to do it because B, S, middle, A. Yeah, it makes sense in my head. So hopefully it does in yours as well. Next up is Diamond Glenn Robinson, who is a card that I absolutely love. But again, I understand that he is not the most amazing on current gen just because, or he's not as good on current gen as he's on next gen, because he does have, I think it's Hall of Fame steady shooter on current, which isn't a great badge. It's an okay badge. I would call it like middle of the pack on Hall of Fame. On gold, silver, bronze, terrible. But on Hall of Fame, not bad. But on next gen, steady turns into blinders, which is basically one of the most crutch badges you could have in the game and one of the best badges in the game, which is why they keep adding it onto cards. So I understand that current gen it's pretty bad, but on next it is just beautiful. And then he has deep threes or range, sniper, and catch and shoot all on Hall of Fame. He has great defense, he has great playmaking, he has awesome finishing. The normal leaner is beautiful on my guy. I love the normal jumper and I love the long athlete layup package. I will link my Glenn Rice gameplay down in the link in the description down below so you can check that out. This card is a demon. Absolutely love him. He's just one of the best shooters you could possibly use. So A tier for sure, at least for me. Next up is the S tier, and another card that I put up here because I know how great he is on current gen, and is Danny Granger. Danny Granger is basically Glenn Robinson, but taller and just better. just better. Seriously, leagues above better. Danny Granger is just an amazing shooter. I mean, how could you not love a guy that has Hall of Fame sniper, deep threes, hot zone hunter, catch and shoot, has quick first step, has amazing defensive stats all around the board, like interior and perimeter, is 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan, and then has the best jumper basically on current gen with the long athlete layup package. I mean, Granger's insane. There's no way around it. Granger's insane. I think on current gen, he's still probably an S tier card, but he's just on another level when it comes to current. Next up is the dentist, the god, Terry Drishinger. Hopefully the last name's right, but we're going to call him Big Terry. Big T. My guy is great. I mean, Terry has, I think, the Rudy Gay jump shot base, which is why he's amazing. I mean, come on, it's Terry. Terry's a god. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan, has Hall of Fame range, has amazing finishing badges, has Hall of Fame sniper, as well. Intimidator, pick dodger, and off-ball pass. Still has clamps. Still has amazing playmaking. All-around defense is great. He has a post game as well. He has a 93 speed. He can speed boost like a madman, and still has that Rudy Gay jumper, my favorite in the game. Also, long athlete layup package and the Curry slide. Come on, Terry is easily S tier. There's no way around it. Next up is Pink Diamond Paul George, a card that I still am holding out a little bit of love for because I love the Pink Diamond, or I just love the Paul George jump shot base. on top of the great defense, on top of the great playmaking, on top of the great finishing, he's just still, in my mind at least, a top tier card. Next up is Junior Bridgman, a card that kind of surprised me with how good he is, but you know what, go Junior. He's actually pretty solid. Overall, there's definitely maybe, you know, a card or two that I would definitely pick above him, but if you look at Junior Bridgman, Hall of Fame downhill, handles for days, tight handles, and quick first step, all amazing. Has amazing finishing badges like Giant Slayer, Posterizer, Pro Touch, and Slithery, so he's dunking on everybody. He comes with Hot Zone Hunter, corner special, difficult shots, and you can add deep threes, so that's kind of why he's up here. If you have deep threes and sniper on him, I think he's top tier. And Hall of Fame clamps with amazing defense. Just overall, a great card. The Kobe Bryant release, the long athlete layup package, like the pseudo Curry slide, like he has Pro 2 for his basic size up, but then his size up escape is Pro 3, so it's a little bit different. But overall, I think once you add that deep threes onto Junior, it opens up a whole new world, and he's definitely a top tier card. Next up is Galaxy Opal Jimmy Butler. I'm not going to be one of the haters. I love the defense that this Jimmy brings, and I've gone against him a few times, and it's been tough to score on him. I'm not going to lie. Like, 6'7", 6'8" wingspan, 17 Hall of Fame badges, including like catch and shoot, difficult shot, sniper, downhill, quick first step, intimidator, pick dodger, and gold deep threes, gold posterizer, gold clamps. I mean, this Jimmy is amazing. I love jump shot 22. It's so smooth. It's so nice. The long athlete layup package and the Pro 2 for the Curry slide. There's no way around it. Jimmy is definitely an S to A tier card, and any lower is just no. Just no. Next up, last but not least in the entire tier list, is Jack Marin, who is basically like, I think they're calling him the lawyer. He's basically Terry, just a little bit easier to get because he's a triple threat online, and you can kind of do the triple threat ball drop glitch. If you guys don't know about that, also we'll link that down below. It allows you to basically guarantee that you're going to get the card on that tier, which is great. Has 18 Hall of Fame badges. Doesn't have Hall of Fame deep threes, but we still have gold. We have gold difficult shots, gold sniper, downhill, quick first step, unpluckable, intimidator, gold clamps. Like, he's amazing. And then has the Larry Bird jump shot base, which is a little bit slower, but still amazing, and I absolutely love it. And then long athlete and the Curry slide. I mean, Jack Marin, absolute demon. Now, let me know what you guys think about the tier list down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys do like the video, did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. Again, the PGs and the shooting guard tier list will be linked in the description down below, along with the gameplays and the TTO video, like we said, if you guys want to check those out and see where the PGs and the shooting guards are all ranked. So you can check those out. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. We are on the road to 10K subscribers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.